Okay, over here, I think you'll be able to see different generations of distillery equipment that Gary has created and has studied. But I think one of the stories that's really fascinating is that he demonstrated to us before. So Gary is always trying to figure out how best things work. So he doesn't just take a distiller and then he says, oh, this is the industry standard, we're going to use this. So what he does, this is how crazy Gary gets. He went inside the distiller, closes it, and asks them to turn on the heat because he wants to watch how the vapor moves and what's going on inside so that he can actually change the structure and remodel the distiller so that it's much more effective in capturing the essential oils. So this is the founder of the company. So that's how he creates, how he studies, and then he gets really hands-on about making sure that we always have technology that is way ahead of everybody else. Cool. Okay, so very quickly, this is a repeat of what we talked about just now. So during harvest, they use a lot of the big machineries. Turn around. They will chop down the wood and the plants on the left-hand side, and then it will start breaking it down to the right-hand side behind Dana. Okay, the materials over there. So you need the materials to be in smaller pieces before they are transported into the vats over here. Okay? This may not be the exact one. I don't remember the depth, but when you open it, it's quite deep. So, like in winter harvest, we will all go in and stomp on the plant materials. As I was explaining earlier, they manually will actually compress the plant materials because it's very important that there's no loose areas that the steam is going through. If there is escape route, the steam actually burns the plant material. So you're either going to get a burnt smell or uneven aroma throughout the distillation. Okay? So this one is not the clearest example, but it's an example your plant material goes in there. So imagine if it was covered with plant materials, your steam goes up from the bottom, okay? And then what the steam does is it will break through the plant materials and extract the molecular structure that has the essential oil. So it will be a mixture of water, steam, and the essential oil. Then it will pass through, and then as it comes out of the machine, what happens is there's a cooling structure. So steam, once it's cool, it becomes water, right? So you get a mixture of water and essential oil. And then when it comes out, we can't see it here, but we'll probably see it in another machine. Once it comes out, you will actually see that distillation to have water at the bottom and the oil floating at the top, okay? That bottom water is what we call the floral water. So Young Living, in the very long ago days, they used to bottle it and sell it, but it's very, very heavy. So those are very good for washing your skin, washing your hair. So they hardly sell it nowadays. Unless you go to a winter harvest, you can bottle it and bring home. Add it into your bath water, use it for your skin as toner. It's really, really good. There's this once they distilled ylang ylang in Ecuador farm. So after we visited the farm, everybody changed into our base suit. We will sit inside the ylang ylang floral water. You come out, your skin is very, very smooth. Okay? So that's the floral water. So for the longest time, they just throw it away because it's very hard to bottle and sell it. The top is your essential oils that eventually will be separated and bottled. Cool. Coming out of a million-and-one adventure, and he came up with something called the World Peace Caravan. So basically, it was that everybody, you will pay as a distributor, you will pay and then you will walk together. You either sit on horses, camels, or you will walk so that we're walking for peace. And it was basically going to happen in Middle East crossing different countries. And Gary has no clue if it was going to happen, but he organized it. And he just put it out there. He says, who's coming with me, sign up. And he put a committee together, a lot of us signed up. It didn't happen because there was so much politics. Very, very difficult to declare. But I think that's the spirit, again, that's the spirit behind Gary. He doesn't take no for an answer, and he doesn't believe sitting down there and going, oh, because the government says no, because nobody has done it, therefore I don't want to do it. Because it's something he believes in. He believes that there is peace for everyone in this world. So he created it. Who cares if it's going to happen? So you guys heard the husky story. I will do first. I am not going by your standard, I'm going by mine. And if I say this is going to happen, I'll make it happen. Yeah. So that one never ever happened. We pay a lot of money. We buy a lot of like, jing, I don't know what. Everybody got very excited. And then postpone. It didn't happen.
Maybe Jacob will bring you.
Yeah. But again, I think you can see that the people believe in him. Yeah, the members believe in him and believe in him. As a leader, he's very clear, his vision is very clear. Here's where I want to go. And we're not afraid of failing because there's no such thing as failing. And in fact, actually, was it yesterday? Richard, this group used this term, fail forward. It's a John C. Maxwell thing, failing forward. So when people always think of failing, they think that I failed, I go backwards, I fail. But in the world of leadership, you fail forward. So every time it didn't work out, you learn something and you're going forward. So always learn, you can fail forward. It's okay. So if you look into the distiller, you're going to see the gas coming out. That's the steam that they release. So what you see inside is the metal plate and you see the chains. So usually what happens is the chain is actually hooked to machines so that after the distillation, they can just use the chain to lift up everything, to pull the material out instead of manually digging. Okay? So it's quite deep. I think one of the important things that I learned at the farms is we use hand cleaning. So in most places that distill essential oils, they will use chemicals. So once they distill, they will just flush it, wash it out with chemicals before they do the next distillation. What we saw, and this is after harvest, people are gone. When we walk around, it's only us, and we saw how people work at the farm. They will go down from a staircase and they will manually clean it. So no chemicals is used in this process because every time, no matter how many times you wash with water, chemicals will stay. So they want to make sure that there's no trace of chemicals at all. It's always cleaned by hand and with non-chemical substances. Yeah. So you guys know how much work it's put into every distillation. It's very, very important at Young Living. Okay.
That what?
Condensation. Yeah.
So you have your oil and your flour water that goes inside of these little pipes. And on the outer shell, you have cold water. I'm Max from the French farm, but I can explain here because we have the same. So inside of these hundreds of little pipes, you have oil and flour water, but at the beginning of these pipes, it's as a gas state, alright? When it's flowing inside of these big pipes, it starts to recondensate as a liquid state. And this is what you see right there. So it's oil mixed with flour water, hydrosols. And this is our separators. So this is where the magic happens. Because the oil is less dense than water, the oil will sit on top of the water. Yeah.
The bottle was there, he didn't turn it out properly, he moved the bottle away and everything flowed to the ground. Guess what all distributors started doing? Take off shoes, take off socks, sit on the floor, rub on their body. Because it's all essential oils on the floor. So it's really funny. But there is this one time, I think Gary loves explaining this process. There's this one time, I think we were distilling eucalyptus blue. And while everybody is very excited taking a picture, there was two of us, we were just standing aside very close to Gary. And Gary loves watching his oil. He doesn't need his audience, he just loves watching the oil. And he looked at it and he said very, very softly, he says, this is going to save somebody. So every distillation, there's one very classic picture of him. I think somebody took a picture of him overnight. He's just watching the whole distillation by himself in the farm. He really loves his plants and he really knows that this material, when we have a good, clean, essential oil, it will save lives.